Well, happy Christmas Eve, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on Up with Krem. I'm Channing Curtis. Now, this morning, we know a lot of people are going to be traveling today, so we want to get a quick check of the mountain passes. So take a look at this. This is a live look at Snoqualmie Pass right now. Chains are required on all vehicles except for those with all-wheel drive. WashDOT is reporting snow and slush on the roadway, so if you are heading that way, be careful, give yourselves a little extra time, and maybe pace yourself on the road. They also say that crews are conducting avalanche control in the area as well. Now check out this TikTok video from Snoqualmie Pass and take a look at this red car that's now sliding sideways across your screen. It shows just how slick the roads there can be, and even sometimes the best drivers sometimes overestimate things. Now this morning on Stevens Pass, chains are required on all vehicles except those with all-wheel drive. If you are planning to travel through Stevens Pass today, crews are also conducting avalanche control. That started at 6 a.m. and can take anywhere from between 30 minutes and 2 hours. Now, another tip, if you happen to be traveling over the mountain passes this weekend, especially, you are required to carry chains even if you don't need to put them on. Now, that includes all-wheel and four-wheel drive vehicles. Washington State Patrol has been making sure that drivers have them, and if you don't, you could face a $500 fine. Now, if you're not sure how to put those chains on your tires, that's okay. We can help you out. Just text the word chains to 509-448-2000. We'll send you a link right to your phone with some very helpful information. Now, if you are heading home for the holidays later this morning, you'll have plenty of company on the roads. Our sister station in Seattle is breaking down when and where you'll see some of the biggest backups today.
If you're heading out this morning, these are the worst times to travel according to WashDOT. They expect you to see the most congestion on I-5 between Lacey and Tacoma from 9 a.m. until 5 a.m. Out on Highway 2 between Stevens Pass and Skycomish from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. And if you're traveling on I-90 from North Bend to Cle Elum, you're looking at the worst travel times between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. So the takeaway here is you want to leave early in the morning or later in the afternoon. Now, we also expect to see some congestion near the Canadian border, but WashDOT was unable to give us drive times for that area. But again, just make sure you're leaving early or later and taking your time on the road.
Well, I know one question a lot of people have who are hitting the roads is, will they encounter any snow? So Jeremy, I know you're in our outdoor weather center right now. So are you getting any snow out there, especially on the South Hill?
Yes, but I'm also trying to figure out how to button my coat. I buttoned it like one button off and I looked like a total weirdo. I'm out here, I'm just trying to look professional on TV. It's hard sometimes. It is snowing. It is actively, oh, I just got one in my eye. It's snowing right now, but it's kind of a blown snow. That's when you get more pellety snowflakes than you do those nice dendrite flakes. So right now it's starting, and I think it is going to give us enough to officially count it here shortly. But Spokane, we're officially recording it here in the 8 o'clock hour, and it continues through the day on and off, but it continues, and I think it does amount to something. So allow a little extra time if you're doing anything today. 10 to 22 inches expected by Monday in northeastern Washington and North Idaho. 2 to 8 inches over the mountain pass today, depending on where you are. Basically, top of the pass, 8, valleys, 2. That's kind of how this one works out. It's a little bit of a wind-whipped snow, but it'll start to settle down as the bulk of that moisture arrives. Until 3 p.m., we're looking at winter weather advisories for the Cascades. Until 10 a.m., 3 to 6 inches in the higher elevations. But here comes some of that snow. It's that initial push that starts things off for us. But notice, it's now just starting, but I think when we'll see the wind calm down is when this hits us here in the next, say, half hour to hour. We're going to see that snow on and off throughout much of the day today. It does continue, so it's on, off, on, off, on, off. And I do think it amounts to about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 2 inches by the time we get into tomorrow. That's here in Spokane. Elsewhere, you could get even more, especially if you're off to the north. The temperature's starting to trend a bit cooler. We're in the mid-30s today with the snow coming down. I think for that reason, we do get a lot of it to stick, but we're talking a serious drop coming up in the next couple of days ahead.
State health leaders are urging everyone to take extra precautions as the Omicron COVID variant spreads. Their biggest worry right now is hospital capacity. Even though the number of people being treated for COVID in Washington hospitals is trending down, there are still more than 550 COVID patients hospitalized right now.
We really do not currently have the capacity within our facilities to accommodate a large surge as we just came through with the Delta surge. At that point in time, we had over 1,700 patients in our hospitals. That would be adding on you can imagine 1,100 additional patients to Washington State hospitals from where we are currently.
Now, some Washington hospitals are operating at over 100% capacity, and the average is 98%. Now, the Say Yes COVID test program provided 1 million free at-home COVID tests in Washington, but now those tests are running out. According to Spokane Regional Health District, free testing kits are running low. Spokane County households were eligible to begin ordering kits at the end of November. Each household would receive 4 at-home testing kits for a total of 8 tests. Spokane Regional Health says the demand for the kits increased around the holidays, but officials say you can look into other options at local pharmacies and even drugstores.
You can still order, they're just not for free, but you can still order tests online. Pharmacies and drugstores have the tests.
Spokane Regional Health is also recommending visiting local testing sites. Today, the testing site at Spokane Falls Community College will be doing rapid antigen testing from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Those tests give you the results back in less than an hour. We're continuing to follow a story you saw first on Krem 2. A Spokane toddler died after overdosing on the deadly pills police say that her father was selling. The 17-month-old girl is one of the latest victims of the highly addictive and dangerous drug fentanyl. Her father, 31-year-old Frank Marusik, is now charged with her death.
There's no other word to describe it other than tragic, right? I mean, that's the most innocent form of life we have.
Court documents show Marusik sold those same pills to undercover detectives back in September, but he wasn't arrested. Police tell us Washington state laws on controlled substances have made it incredibly tough for police to hold drug dealers accountable and keep them in jail.
People are not going to jail for simple possession right now. It is not something that law enforcement can arrest on in the city of Spokane. We are going to follow what the courts say and what the legislature says. So right now I have no problem saying that it has never been harder to do drug investigations than it is right now for law enforcement.
Police say in this case, had they arrested Marusik, he likely would have been held for only a matter of hours. 8:08 now, time for your morning rush. More news in less time. The death toll from fentanyl-laced pills has doubled in North Idaho. Idaho State Police say citizens are dying from the drug and that they aren't suicides or intentional overdoses. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that's 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine. In 2020 alone, Kootenai County saw 8 fentanyl-related deaths, and this year they had 16. The University of Miami is making changes to its travel plans ahead of the Sun Bowl game against the Cougs. The Hurricanes are currently in COVID protocols, but they plan to arrive in Texas on Thursday, December 30th. That's just one day before the bowl game. WSU, in the meantime, is still expected to arrive in Texas on Sunday. And don't forget, you can watch the Cougs play in the Sun Bowl on Krem 2 at 9 a.m. A Spokane holiday tradition is back this year with the return of the New Year's Eve fireworks show at Riverfront Park. The fireworks will be set off near the clock tower and are expected to last about 10 minutes. Coca-Cola will also be at the Numerica Skate Ribbon offering giveaways from 7 to 9 p.m. That's your morning rush. United and Delta Airlines are announcing about 200 flights are canceled for today. Both airlines say this is because of a spike of Omicron cases amongst their flight crews. If you do have travel plans, make sure to check ahead with your airlines. Right now, all of the flights at Spokane International Airport are on time. Now, the travel industry is seeing a drastically increase in numbers this holiday season, despite another COVID surge. Krem 2 caught up with the Simon family at the Spokane International Airport yesterday. They said their daughter and grandson haven't been back to visit Spokane since 2019, and they're used to visiting often, especially around the holidays. But they got by with FaceTime and opening presents together virtually, but they say nothing beats finally being together again for the holidays.
Our son and daughter-in-law are also coming, but they're driving from Gig Harbor, so we will all be together.
Yeah, this is a big reunion.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen my brother in 2 years either. So it's really cool, finally.
If you are flying out of Spokane for the holidays, make sure to give yourself plenty of time to get through security, and you can even track the security wait lines by using the free MyTSA app. All I want for Christmas is you, maybe at the top or maybe the bottom of your streaming list, but does that mean the holiday hit gets the most plays during the Christmas season? It is time for your wake-up call. We've been asking for them all morning long. We want to see your family Christmas photos, or maybe just even your Christmas decorations on this Christmas Eve. You drive the conversation as always on this show, so text us those photos at 509-448-2000 or post them to social media and make sure to use the hashtag #UpWithKrim. Who knows, you might even see them right here on the show.